say anything can happen on WrestleLost.
Welcome to WrestleLost, folks.
Ah, yes, she's the badass here. It's the WrestleLost Derby cast.
The sniper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to WrestleLost. Well, let's just say it's been a very interesting couple of days for two different reasons, but we'll see once we get into discussions. But to get it going, here's Johnny.
So we should just say we decided to delay our Wrestling Conspiracies podcast 1 week because of things that have come up.
News.
News that has come out, yes. So if you're looking forward to hearing about Bigfoot, you gotta wait 1 more week.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yes, because everything in the wrestling world is happening right now.
Somehow, I think something is going to happen every single week from here on out.
At least till Mania.
Yeah,
Probably at least till Mania.
but next week we're really going to try our best to bring y'all the Bigfoot episode.
So let's start with AEW because what actually happened last weekend did kind of affect AEW. So Mercedes Moné was actually supposed to debut at Collision last Saturday, but Tony Khan thought better of it because it was the night over the Rumble and majority of the people were going to watch Royal Rumble instead of Collision. And I'll be honest, I still have yet to see last week's Collision. I have it on my DVR. I never watched it.
I forgot to record it.
So Tony Khan, on Dynamite, they said Tony Khan's going to have a huge announcement this coming Wednesday on Dynamite, and the speculation is it's going to be announcing Mercedes Moné has signed with AEW. So we'll see if that holds true.
Yeah, there was actually a bit more. Well, actually, one more bit to add to that Mercedes Moné debut that was supposed to happen. The main reason, well, at least this is what I heard. Again, people can hear many different things in the wrestling world. All depends on who you get your news from and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or where you decide to have conversations. But the other thing I heard was the reason they decided to delay it until this coming Wednesday was because that's when the recent Vince news was still going strong.
Yeah. They wanted her to be the only news.
Yeah.
On the day.
And even though there is no guarantee of that, I'm hoping this Wednesday she'll be the big news.
Yeah. Yes. If that's what it is. But I'm pretty sure that it is.
Yeah, I'm like 95% sure that's what it is.
So, okay, the entire news segment this week is gonna be Vince or Vince related somehow, because the Rumble did have what happened in that lawsuit and who was named did have an effect on the Rumble itself. Brock Lesnar was supposed to make his debut or return in the Rumble. Now, at first we thought it was Pat McAfee that took his spot, but it actually came out that it was Braun Breaker that took his spot in the Rumble. And since it was such a last-minute deal, they didn't have time to write up a new script for Braun Breaker, so they just gave Braun Breaker all of Lesnar's spots. He eliminated 4 people in just 5 minutes, and he was eliminated by Dominic Mysterio. So just think of that. Brock Lesnar was supposed to be eliminated in the Rumble by Dominic Mysterio, which this is actually the 20th anniversary of the 2004 Royal Rumble where Maven eliminated The Undertaker. So maybe an homage to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could have seen Brock Lesnar squash Dominic Mysterio in a match, probably at Mania.
I don't know if it would have happened at Mania.
Yeah, but Brock
Maybe-
Lesnar wouldn't have appeared on any other show.
Maybe Elimination. Well, he might have gone to Elimination Chamber.
I was going to say possibly Elimination Chamber.
Because we know he's not going to go to Raw to do it.
No, it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen on Raw, but there was Elimination Chamber where they could do it at. So, yeah, that's definitely not a Mania match because, well, it's not going to be a Mania match either way now. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't have happened there because of how much of a squash match that would have been.
And from what I've heard, Brock Lesnar may not ever be back in WWE.
Yeah. I heard the same thing, obviously, with the news that broke and what he was involved in. All I'm going to say is he brought it on himself. And I know some people are disappointed because of it. Because, I mean, just look at Brock Lesnar, right? He's built to kill people. And that's what he's known for doing. He is the beast, Brock Lesnar. So, as someone who followed his UFC career and his WWE career, I am also very disappointed that this is the road it took, unfortunately, for him. But he has no one to blame but himself and Vince.
Yeah, he should have never accepted that offer.
Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't have, and he has no one to blame but himself, like I said. So I am very disappointed in Brock Lesnar. I'm not gonna say bummed out because again, he did it to himself. So that's really all I gotta say about it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how that relationship is now between Brock and Sable.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't want to throw something out there that we haven't heard officially yet or haven't had any rumblings on, but the situation like that, either one of two scenarios is going to come out. Either she knew about it and just had to deal with it happening, or she knew nothing about it and a divorce is coming. Those are the only two roads I see whenever more news on that comes out. But I would think she knew nothing about it, and she's going to have to settle that personally with him.
Okay, so now on to more Vince news because there was more that broke. Probably about a week after the first news broke. So we're not going to discuss anymore about what happened in the lawsuit. If you want to go check that out, go watch our video from 2 weeks ago. Sorry, that was 2 weeks ago, not a week. But yeah, watch our video from 2 weeks ago to find out the gory details. Or you can just look online that the lawsuit's there for everyone to read. So another thing that implicated in the lawsuit was John Laurinaitis. And it turns out that now, and this is actually the funny part of it, John Laurinaitis and Vince are actually turning on each other now.
Yeah, they're tattletelling on each other. Which, you know, as serious as this is, that is the funny part in the whole situation. Is now they're just pointing fingers at each other, so they're further implicating each other.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, look, this is just me getting into the mentality and it's a bad mentality to try and get in, but in the mentality of Vince and John Laurinaitis. If I was them right now and I was in this situation, which I'm not that dirty of a person, so I'm never going to find myself in a situation like that, I would be working together
Yeah.
instead of just nothing has come out as far as how they're going against each other. That those details haven't come out, but you'd have to think it's them bringing up things about each other that happened during those times. That is the wrong thing to do. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in their minds, and I don't even want to find myself thinking like they are because it's just fucked up everything that happened. But yeah, that's the funny part is they're going against each other now.
So it turns out that the NDAs, the non-disclosure agreements that Vince had this woman and who knows what other women signed, turns out that there were NDAs that weren't they weren't WWE NDAs. In other words, WWE, TKO. Well, this was before TKO, but they didn't know about it. These were NDAs that Vince, with his legal team, created on his own without the company's knowledge.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that because they're not official NDAs, they don't matter. They're void, I guess you could say.
Which just makes things a little bit more weird. I don't know. I don't know how to think about it because them being void, that means anybody is free to talk.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe the lawyers involved in this case are being swamped right now with people willing to talk, women willing to talk.
Yes, that's another thing. What turn? Janelle Grant, her attorney, Ann Callis, she said that her inbox is flooded with just emails of women who want to come forward to tell their story, and that they're just beginning to get through all those.
Yeah.
So there's more than one victim here.
Yeah. Even though, like, who would know better than us because we're stuck in a work scenario where at times we can get overwhelmed in a bad way. But I would say this is a good way of being overwhelmed at work because it's people seeking your help in this unfortunate situation. And hey, it's like I said 2 weeks ago. Don't be scared to come forward and to speak your truth and what happened because they need to be put in their place. And I'm that's why as soon as it started happening, or because that they were overwhelmed with work and with people coming forward, good, because they need to learn their lesson.
Yes.
And I have a feeling it's going to happen for real this time.
Yes, because now, once again, Vince is under a federal investigation.
Yep.
And I say that with a smile on my face.
Look,
Which is going to turn this from a civil case into a criminal case.
yeah. And I'm going to put it, I don't want to be negative, so I'm going to put it as positively as I can. It's great that it's going to turn from federal to criminal. Until I see him in a jumpsuit, that's when I will be truly happy. But for now, with the information that's coming out, I'm happy with that so far because it looks like it's headed in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens. Like we said, this is just the beginning. So uh, as the weeks go by, we're gonna find out more and more.
Yeah, we're definitely going to find out more and more, and the more we find out, the more we will bring to you and put in our thoughts on it.
So I want to end the news on some disappointing injury news. This Wednesday on Dynamite, Wardlow took on Commander, and it kind of looked like at one point like he tweaked his knee, and you could tell he was visibly upset about it. After the match, he he quickly went to the finish and beat Commander, and but you could tell he's walking around talking to himself. He had said on X that he was okay, but it turns out he's not. So a couple weeks ago we had Seth Rollins come out and say that he had a torn meniscus and MCL. Now Wardlow also has a torn meniscus, which is going to keep him out for a while.
Yeah, and even though it's a different company, I don't wish injury on anybody, and it just sucks that it feels like even though it's WrestleMania season, it's also injury season. This is what it feels like to me.
Yeah,
because of how the last couple of weeks have gone.
Yeah, what's even more troubling of all is that during the Royal Rumble, CM Punk suffered an injury, which the ref, asked him if he wanted to go for the finish. CM Punk said, "No, I'll finish it." They wrestled like an 8-minute match after the last person was eliminated. Just like the last time Punk was in the Rumble 2014, he got a concussion, but he wanted to continue. It turns out CM Punk came out on Monday night on Raw with a cast or arm in a sling, saying that he has a torn tricep, which is going to keep him out past WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm hearing 4 to 6 months because he's going to have surgery again. Yeah. So, yeah, that puts WrestleMania in a bit of a bind.
The third injury in 3 years for him.
Yeah, because it set some unfortunate. I'm calling them panic plans because that is exactly what's happening. Is one, it's WWE panicking because of Seth Rollins being still injured, CM Punk now out. So some of the plans, unfortunately, for Mania are having to be altered. And it set a chain of events, which we will touch on.
Yes.
during the WWE portion of our thoughts of the week. But yeah, it's creating a lot of backlash, and I have more comments from people saved that I'm going to bring up during that time.
I guess you could say it's causing a lot of WrestleMania backlash.
Oh,
that's after Mania, not before. Oh.
No, unfortunately, WrestleMania backlash came early. I really hate this.
Yeah. So, unless you have anything else, that's the news.
No, I really don't have anything else. All I want to say is unfortunate for CM Punk being injured again, and some people saying maybe they should really look into what they're going to do with him, because that's 3 years in a row, like, that he's
Yeah.
gotten injured and he's had to miss time. You know, being with AEW or with WWE, he's had to miss time nonetheless. So even though you are only 45 years old, maybe it's a serious discussion that needs to be had. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in 4 to 6 months' time, how he reacts to coming back, and what those matches look like. Because this was his first televised match. And
Yeah.
this is what happened. So, well, when it comes down to it, we'll see. We'll see how he recovers from it, and that'll be a discussion point for further down the line. So now that we've gotten through the news, I'm going to go over to Drew and get his moment for WWE, and let's see how this goes.
Well, I guess my moment is actually on both shows because I like the whole Cody saga. Because he came out on Raw, he was going to make his announcement. Then here comes Seth, giving Cody all the reasons why he should take on, why Cody should pick him and not Roman. And all this, like, if you fight me, it'll be one-on-one, and you won't fight me plus the bloodline, all this other stuff. You want to work, this is the working man's championship. And so Cody ends up saying, I'll think about it. So Cody goes to SmackDown. Roman comes out and gives his little speech on, do you want to fight me or the number 2 champ and all this other stuff? Cody comes out and he says he's talked to a lot of people, got a lot of advice, and he still wants Roman's championship, but not at Mania.
Why not?
Because I guess somebody else is going to take on Roman at Mania. And then we hear The Rock's music, and The Rock comes out, and they have a stare down with Roman. Didn't say a word.
No. I just saw before we came on a TikTok of The Rock's comments after the show went out the air.
Yeah. But he didn't say nothing on the air
No.
here. So, yeah, so it's interesting. It looks like we're good Roman and The Rock and Seth and Cody at Mania.
Okay.
Here's my point. Everybody's been wanting Rock and Roman for what, 3 years? We're finally getting it. And people are starting to complain. I don't get it, but okay.
But it doesn't need the title. So I don't know where they go from here. Are they gonna now make Roman go to Australia and have him face Cody at Elimination Chamber, or maybe in the chamber itself, and then that's how Cody wins. But then you can still have the Rock Roman match at Mania. I don't know.
You can have Roman Rock at Mania, but does it have to be for the title?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Roman can still have the title, just say it's a match for the head of the table or it's for the tribal chief, not for the title.
This is the
I
second
don't
year
know.
in a row. Second year in a row, you're wasting your Rumble winner.
Thank you. And that is.
But is it a waste if he goes and beats Seth for his title at the Mania?
Well, as Roman himself said, that's the loser title.
Yeah,
That's
it's not a loser.
That's not
It's
the
not
loser
a
title. It's just a title
It's
they came up with because you won't fucking give up the other title.
Right. It's not a loser's title because Seth actually beat Roman in their match because Roman got disqualified because Seth grabbed the ropes. So Seth never lost to Roman in this whole 2-3 year span. Seth never lost to Roman. Roman got disqualified because Seth grabbed the ropes and Roman wouldn't let go of the guillotine hold. So Seth never lost. So it's not a loser's title.
No.
But how is that wasting your Rumble winner if Cody goes after Seth and takes that title from him?
Because it's not the title Cody wants.
Because that's not the story that was being told for the last 2 fucking years.
There's even a video that WWE put up themselves backstage at Raw with Cody and talking to CM Punk, where CM Punk told him to go finish the story, and then they hugged.
Yeah, where The Rock has personally told Cody, I am not going to stop you from finishing your story. And look at where we are today.
Well, it's not The Rock doing it. It has to be management.
Triple H.
Or maybe it's Nick Khan. I don't know.
This is fairly new because this barely started unraveling last night. So this is what I'm hearing. And again, this is just what I'm hearing. There's nothing concrete yet as to who actually made the call. But this is what I'm hearing. Triple H has little say in what's actually going on. It's more Nick Khan, TKO, and The Rock that are pushing for this.
Well, yeah, because The Rock's now on the board.
Yeah. And not only is he pushing for the match, he's pushing to win the match. So go ahead.
I also think they did this to swerve everyone away from all the Vince news.
Yeah.
Well, of course they did. It's a bigger story for The Rock to come back and face Roman than the Vince news. Well,
yeah.
Well,
to some people.
Well,
the
wrestling
for now.
Wrestling related.
It's the bigger news, wrestling related. Yes. For now, that's all it is, and that's what people seem to think that's what it is. A diversion to take eyes off of the Vince news, but and this is coming from many people who are in the wrestling media community. Johnny, we were talking about this before we went live. Fightful has a good track record of keeping their review shows from within an hour to an hour and a half, at the most 2 hours.
Yes.
When there's big things happening, they've gone for 2 hours. They went for 3 hours last night. And most of the comments that came in that show were negative.
Yes. Sean actually put up a poll on his Twitter, and he had 25,000 votes, and only 19% were in favor of Roman versus Rock.
Yeah, so that's 80% that don't want this to happen. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying they don't want it to happen. They just don't want it to happen now because it is the wrong time for it. And that is the main problem. Timing is the problem.
Well, when else were they going to do it?
The problem.
When else were they going to do it?
Yeah.
Wait till
after.
Well, maybe he loses it. Elimination Chamber or something. I don't know.
There's a bigger story out there because, hey, guess what? There's a potential Bloodline member that just became a free agent out there.
Hell yes.
Jacob Fatu is now a free agent. Jacob Fatu could come in and be the one who challenges Roman for the head of the table, or maybe The Rock can bring him in, saying that they, he could say that Roman forgot the rest of the family, that he only cares about himself and the title.
Yeah. So this is a scenario someone threw out there when it comes to Roman and everything that's going on. Naomi just joined. Naomi just returned to WWE. So she could go and tell Jimmy, hey, this is not you. This is not the Jimmy I know. And she could knock some sense into him, and that would be a way for her to pull Jimmy away from Roman. Then you have Jacob come in and be like, hey, Solo, we haven't spoken in a very long time because of how involved you are with the bloodline. I want to be good with you. And he talks him out of the bloodline. So that would leave Roman by himself. All vulnerable. Paul Heyman ain't gonna do shit. And they could finally capitalize on him truly having one-on-one matches and losing the title. But that would take a little bit of work because you got to sign Jacob, and that he just became a free agent. So who knows if that's something WWE actually wants to do. So before we started, I said this was going to be a big talking point because of the outrage that Andrew doesn't seem to understand, which is fine. Hey, look, I'm not judging, okay?
I'm just saying, people's wanted this for 3 years.
You're
finally
in the
getting it. What's the point?
You're in the minority here. Okay, I'm going to turn up the volume on my phone because I have a video. WWE is doing a live, they had a live event tonight in Knoxville, Tennessee. They showed the video of The Rock. Huh?
Did Ken come out?
No, please. That's a whole other issue they don't want. So they replayed the video of The Rock coming out on SmackDown. The boos. I haven't seen the video, but they said they booed the shit out of that video. So I'm going to the video now. It's not the best audio.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be on TikTok later.
Yeah, I'll have to share it. But yeah, it's a
So watching that FIFO review, a lot of people were chatting and saying that they're now going to sell their WrestleMania tickets.
Yeah. So I like I said, I have a couple of screenshots that I want to bring up. And this is someone that I have brought up on the podcast before because he's a bit of a controversial guy. A lot of his takes don't seem to sit right with the wrestling community. JD from New York. Do you remember me bringing him up? Had some issues with him in the past.
Yes.
This is the first thing that he says that I completely agree with. He said, I don't like what I am reading this morning. This is all Rock's doing with backing of TKO executives. They legit lowballed Cody Rhodes. It just reads as slimy as anyone, but he puts on the facade of the nice guy on camera. This whole thing reeks of something bad. They are using it to pivot away from the Vince McMahon stuff. They are doing it to save WrestleMania, and The Rock has even brought in his own creative team and Brian Gerwitz. I hope this blows up in their face, and the match is fucking sabotaged at WrestleMania.
It's already started to blow up in their face.
Yeah, and the reason he said... Go ahead.
I said, guess what? WrestleMania is in Philadelphia. Being football fans, we know how Philly fans can be.
Philly is a
They've
tough
been known to
crowd.
throw snowballs with batteries in them.
Oh, look, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna go that far because I just
I
don't
mean, it's going
feel
to be
like.
April. I'm sure they won't have snowballs.
Yeah, but I don't know. They could freeze them in ice or something, and then just bring them in that way. But yeah,
Freeze them
that
next to
is
the
one.
arena.
Yeah, that's one person I don't necessarily agree with on a lot of stuff, but this is the first one that I did agree with. Dave LaGreca said, "If we see Rock and Roman in the main event at WrestleMania, it just proves you don't need to wrestle to get a championship match." And to that, Kate from Fightful said, "You can leave, start another company, become an undeniable star, literally all over the world, and they will still deny you 2 years in a row." And WrestleOps said, "Those that Fightful Select spoke to said that The Rock had not only pushed to work the match against Roman Reigns, some thought he was even pushing to win the match." So that's something I already said. Um, some guy said Royal. Some guy said, I don't even know the person's name, but he said Cody has back-to-back wins in the Rumble, a WWE 2K cover, and a World Heavyweight title shot. What are they taking away from him? And then someone responded to them, the Dusty title. How the fuck do y'all not understand what finishing his story means? That's not Seth's title. It's Roman's. It's simple. That goes back to the story they've been telling for the past 2 years of him getting the title that his dad never won, and that is the title that Roman has, not the title that Seth has. Alex McCarthy said, "My overriding feeling is I've always wanted The Rock versus Roman, but the way we got here, what happens to Cody, leaves a bad taste. Interested to see what the live crowds do the next few weeks." It's the following day, and they're already booing his ass at a live show. So that goes to show maybe how.
I don't know if they booed him. They booed a video. So I'm sure if The Rock was actually there, they might have. They probably
No,
would
he
have
wasn't
cheered.
there.
No, he was not there.
See what I'm saying?
This
It's
is
easy
the
to boo a
start
video.
of
It's hard.
it, though.
I know, but it's easy to boo a video you don't like as opposed to the actual person when they come out. It's like,
Oh, I mean, I'm sure he'll come out live between now and then. So we'll find out.
Yeah,
he might even come out on SmackDown next week to actually talk.
yeah,
And
maybe.
and you know what? This makes me want to go to SmackDown even more in March.
I was about to say that too. Maybe now it's worth going just because the atmosphere, like this story is, I don't know, man. But
And a lot
yeah,
of things can change in a month.
yeah, true as well.
Yeah.
That's why we need to see how these crowds start to react.
And we need to see what kind of story they tell with this.
They have a
2 months.
amount of
They have
time.
2 months to tell this story and make everybody not hate it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So okay. So here, y'all want conspiracy? Here's what if all this is a conspiracy against Cody because of him being and starting AEW?
Because of what?
Him starting
Because
AEW.
Oh. I don't think Triple H would be petty like that.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say because of all these Vince allegations, Triple H might end up losing his job.
Yeah, that too. I did hear that as well. So I don't know, man. Like trying to lump that in. I could see why you would say that, but until something is actually said, I don't want to speculate on that quite yet. Maybe in the future we will have to. Maybe in the next couple of weeks we will have to. But okay, so do y'all remember the guy that The Rock helped out, the MMA fighter that was living out of the gym he was practicing at and training at? The Rock bought him a house. Like he helped
Rock
him out.
bottom.
Yeah. Y'all remember we talked about that a while back?
No.
No.
Well, it's someone he really wanted to help out because he was down on his luck and trying to make it as an MMA fighter. Well, that guy has an MMA fight tonight, and The Rock put out a tweet a couple of hours ago that says he fights to pay it forward. Wishing my brother at the Answer MMA best of luck today in his UFC welterweight fight on Fight Night on ESPN. Themba's amazing story caught my eye when MMA fans sent me an ESPN tweet where Themba had just $7 in his bank account before his last fight. I flew to meet him and instantly realized he's a special and humble human being. I'm honored to play a very small role in his inspiring journey. Best of luck to my brother, and welcome to our ZOA Energy team. People are attacking The Rock in that tweet, saying you're willing to be humble and help this guy out, but then you're going to come into WWE and take Cody's spot. So, there's a bunch of back and forth going on in that tweet, and it even went as far. Now, I came in on the second half. I didn't put anything in there, but I read a lot of what people were saying. It got to the point where The Rock cleared out all of the negative comments. And then people were like, oh, we saw that you cleared out all of the negative comments. So here we are again to put up more negative comments. That's how far this has gone.
So he went from one of the best loved wrestlers to Vince now.
It's within Vince levels of shit.
Yeah.
But
because
it's a little bit bad.
Yeah, because ESPN, they already got wind of this, so that's really what they want. They want outside publicity.
Yeah.
So Freddie, the reason that you don't like Bad Bunny was because he was taking the spot of other wrestlers. Would you compare The Rock to Bad Bunny now?
In this situation, yes. Because this is WrestleMania. Cody just won the Rumble to go main event. He pointed at Roman before the Rumble went off the air. That is the story they want to tell. That is the story that needs to be finished. And they are not finishing it because The Rock is like, I want to come in and finish up a story that hasn't even really started, which is me wanting to take the Tribal Chief title off of Roman. So, yes, I would put him with Bad Bunny in this situation.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I'm going that far.
So
because you pretty much just screwed Cody 2 WrestleManias in a row. It should have ended last WrestleMania. And it fucking didn't. We were all outraged at that situation. And now we finally had the chance again. He won the Rumble to finish the fucking story. And you're not letting him. Because, and look, I love nostalgia. But nostalgia's biting us in the ass this time.
There's still no guarantee they would have let Cody win this match anyway.
But see, now
Okay,
that
if-
CM Punk
and if
is injured,
that's what they were gonna do.
Do what?
now that CM Punk is injured, I'm hearing now maybe even have Cody versus Stone Cold.
I heard that too, but I don't think that's gonna happen. It's gonna stick Cody versus Seth.
Yeah,
That's what it's gonna be. But you fucked him over last year. And you're fucking him over with this Rock situation.
I still don't think you
And-
are, because he's still getting a championship.
But not the one he wants.
I want to hear what.
But he's
Not
not on
the
SmackDown
one
anyway.
Building the story to. I'm getting spittle on the side of my lip.
I
He's not
want to
on
hear what
SmackDown
Cody.
anyway.
I want to hear what Cody has to say about this, because what if in reality Cody's okay with this?
Yeah, Cody could be fine with it.
I don't think he is. And look, I don't know.
He didn't
if
look
he
like
is.
he was.
I don't know if he didn't look like he was. And that is the main thing that other people have noticed. This is not just me. If you look at it slowly, when he is about to go out of the ring, before he goes out the ropes, I saw it because I've seen the video like 3 times because people just keep on reposting it. I saw him do this. He looked sad. As soon as he hugged the Rock and he walked out, he looked sad. And people are sad for him because he's now
But
being forced
al-
into another story.
Also, we don't know what The Rock said to him either.
I'm here, bitch, and I took your spot. That's what he
You
said.
don't know that. The Rock would probably never say that to someone like that. He probably said, "I appreciate you doing this for me," or something like that. Is probably what he said.
Probably
Five,
that's what he said.
Fightful, they were joking that he told Cody that he was going to get a lifetime supply of Under Armour gear.
It just doesn't sit right. Not only with me, with a lot of people. A lot of people are also really bummed out at this situation. So I'm gonna go back to and I feel sorry. I feel sorry for Themba because in a way he has to be, because he was tagged in that tweet. So he has to be seeing what all these people are saying.
Right, and he's fixing to try to fight an MMA
Yeah, he's
fight.
trying to focus
His
on
first
a
fight. His first
And
fight had to happen the day after.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his
I don't-
first
I
fight or
don't think
not.
it's his
His first fight.
I don't think
first
it's
fight in
first, but-
UFC. Yeah, I think it's his first fight in the UFC.
Yeah,
So unfortunately, his phone or PC is pinging with all this shit. So he's another unfortunate victim of this whole situation. Let me go to my next screenshot, which is actually a video of something that was said in the Fightful show. So let me make sure all my volume's all the way up. Again, not the best audio because I recorded it from my TV, but it is what it is. I'll see how it comes out. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
I might be able to let you go out of here.
Well, this one's an easy one. Winner gets a star in Black Adam too. I think the loser would have a star.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
So someone sent in a super chat that said the winner of the Rock Roman has to star in Black Adam 2. And Sean said more like the loser of that match has to star in Black Adam 2. That's just where the mentality is on some people. Like, we have to make jokes to help us get through this situation because it's what we don't want, man. And now
but we've been asking for it for 3 years, but we don't want it.
timing though. Timing.
I'm still not convinced. I still see no problem with it.
So someone sent in another super chat that said they lack time to rethink the Rumble winner. They stuck with the Rhodes story. They pivoted due to the Vince stuff, classic distraction technique. And that's what it is. They're trying to distract from the Vince shit, which is what we already brought up. And then there's poor people like this guy. This is someone I really feel bad for. Sent in another super chat that said, I live in India. I bought tickets to Philly, $1,500 to watch Cody finish the story at the home of my Eagles and catch up with friends. And this is what they do.
Whoa.
People bought tickets to Mania to
When? But when did they buy tickets?
against Roman.
There was someone there that just said they just finished paying off their payment plan.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then there was some other people that
but
said,
they bought tickets way before they knew Cody was going to win the Rumble.
Wait, hear me out. There was plenty of other people that sent in super chats that said, we specifically bought tickets to WrestleMania after Cody won the Rumble. And now we want to sell those tickets. So there is a large amount of people that bought tickets after the Cody win at Rumble that
I really
now
don't-
don't want to go anymore.
I really don't believe that because how many tickets were bought since the Rumble as opposed to how many tickets were sold before the Rumble?
That is a number we would have to investigate. And I don't
Right.
think we can get the accurate number on
Right, but I still don't think the numbers are that close.
But
I think most of probably I would say 75% of the people bought their tickets before the Rumble that have bought tickets already.
yeah. I don't know.
So
man.
it's such a small number of people saying I bought it just for Cody. I don't believe that.
Maybe, okay, let me put it this way. Maybe not just for Cody, but Cody was a big determining factor in it. To be able to say that you were there the night that Cody finished his story and someone
But there was no
finally-
guarantees he was going to win the Rumble before then.
Finally, someone took
Especially-
down the head of the table.
He was not even the odds-on favorite to win. Punk was.
But he won.
But that has nothing. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it. It's not. I can't convince you otherwise. You can't
And
convince
I
me
can't
otherwise.
convince you otherwise.
Right.
Look, it's we all know where the story should have headed. Can you at least agree to that? That if Punk hadn't gotten injured, probably none of this would be happening right now. It would still be Punk Seth and Cody Roman.
Probably.
Okay.
But
So
just
they're panicking. And they brought in
maybe they
someone,
found this as the best alternative for that.
and so they panicked. And now they're bringing in someone who got winded just by doing a spine buster and a people's elbow.
So now you're comparing him to Goldberg.
Age is a bitch, bro. Age is
don't-
a bitch.
Don't tell me that don't tell me age is a bitch because let's talk until after we talk AEW.
Bro,
I just turned 45.
Okay. Let me rephrase what I just said.
I'm as old as CM Punk.
Yes, we're arguing.
Age is a bitch when you haven't stayed in shape. How
Oh,
about
don't tell. Okay,
No,
he's in shape?
I'm saying he's in shape. He might not be.
His
ring ready?
cardio needs a lot of work.
I'm not in shape. I like my life.
I'm a shape. Round is a shape. Oh.
You can't look like him when you. There's a difference between being in ring shape and being in shape, in the shape that he's in.
So you don't think he'll be ready for Mania?
It's going to take a lot of work.
He's got 2 months.
maybe 2 months is not enough.
So I just pulled up WrestleMania on Ticketmaster.
Okay.
Let me give you an example of prices.
All right.
So this is section 241. It's in the mid level. Okay, it's not even lower level. $816 per ticket. That's how much money people are paying.
We sat lower
We
than that.
we sat in the lower level, and it was just $400, half that price.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You paid half that.
we saw a main event with Roman and Brock Lesnar,
Yeah. Yeah.
and people just threw beach balls around during the whole match.
Yeah. Hey man, you're not gonna stop us from having fun, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Cody deserves better. And this is not what he deserves. That's really all I had to say.
So what if he gets it later?
But here's the thing, though. You say later, but okay, the point of winning the Rumble is to go to WrestleMania and get the match that you want. The match that you have been wanting. This is not the match that he wants. He doesn't want Seth Rollins. He wants the title his dad never won. That is the story. That is the story that has been told. He cried on TV for his dad. This is what he wants. That is what he wants. Not to face Seth Rollins. He wants Roman. And for him to win the Rumble and then show up on SmackDown and to say this match is going to happen, but not at WrestleMania, then why the hell did you win the Rumble?
This is crazy. I'm sorry, I just keep looking at these prices. So a lower level seat is $3,800.
Guess what? If to those that want to go, to those that are paying that amount, good for you. Good for you. Because here's the last thing I'm gonna say, and if y'all want to say anything after that, I will let y'all say whatever you want, and I will not interrupt.
Yeah, because this was my moment. I don't have a moment.
Yeah.
So my moment.
So this is a combined moment. To be fair, we've gone like 20 minutes here.
Yes.
So,
but there's one more other thing to talk about.
Yeah, but this is a combined moment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring up something. All right, I have a moment. I'll bring up the moment I was going to go with. But here's the last thing I'm going to say. When you have been building to Cody Roman, when he won the Rumble and he pointed at Roman, and Roman had that look on his face of shit. This again with this guy. The moment was set. People were sold on that main event for WrestleMania. So I understand Punk getting injured is out of everybody's control.
Yeah.
You have to stick to that story.
So what would you do instead?
Because it is one of the main stories that you've been focused on the last 2 years.
Not only that,
how much longer are we going to have to wait?
Not only that, it's not even a definite that Seth Rollins is going to be healthy by WrestleMania.
Yeah. I just see the outrage, and I feel for the people that were 95%. I would even go as far as saying 99% sold on one thing, and they have completely flipped it on. Don't get me wrong. There's a crowd out there that's going to be happy to see Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania. And here's why I said this is the last thing I'm gonna say. If The Rock gets in good shape, if he gets his cardio right, there's no denying that this match is going to be good. It's just the wrong time. They were working on something else that people were focused on and were ready for that payoff to finally happen when they screwed him last year. They were mad when they screwed him last year, and that's why they are mad now. That's why I did not want Cody to win the Rumble. Because I had a feeling that somehow, in the end, they were going to fuck it up somehow.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have to make it to Mania, and they fucked it up.
And by the way, Cody was planning to win the Rumble all along. It wasn't. They didn't do an audible because CM Punk got injured. It was never going to be CM Punk.
It was always going to be Cody. But you didn't even let him entertain it for a week.
Yeah, and that decision was made sometime this week. From the time they took that backstage video with Punk and Cody until last night.
Yeah. That I'm tired. That wore me out. I understand what you said, Andrew, and I get it. Because here's what someone else said on Twitter. All of you guys bitching about it. You know you're still gonna watch WrestleMania. Are we gonna watch WrestleMania? Yes, we are.
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see what else is gonna happen on the card.
Yeah. So here's one. I'm gonna throw out one more thing out there because this is legit. Oh, other than people looking, air quotes, because who knows they're really gonna do it, looking to sell their Mania tickets. Some people have already canceled their subscriptions because they're like, we're not going to watch WrestleMania. We're canceling right now so we don't watch it because Cody's not getting the story he wants. So they've canceled their subscription to Peacock. And I understand you because one of the thoughts that crossed my mind as soon as that shit happened last night is I kind of am starting to get in the mindset of I might not want to watch WWE if this is the road we're taking. I don't know.
Are we
There's
going back to that?
going on.
Are we going back to that?
A lot of people are. If they're canceling their subscriptions already and they're looking to offload their Mania tickets.
Hey, at this point, you know what? Let Vince back in. Why not?
I keep on remembering of things I want to say. And I promise this is the last thing. Maybe the final nail in the coffin here is that. Because of WWE wanting to cover up or have another news story take the eyes off of the Vince McMahon story, that's why they're doing this The Rock versus Roman. So if it wasn't for Vince, maybe there's a chance that match wouldn't have to happen now.
Right.
Well, no, stop.
Story.
That's not what you did. Okay, stop. Back up. 2 minutes ago, you said this is all because Punk got hurt. Now it's Vince's fault. It can't be both.
It's a bad combination of shit.
Right, but you said if it wasn't for the Vince stuff, this wouldn't have happened. No, it's still. If it wasn't for Punk getting hurt, this wouldn't happen. It has nothing to do with them. Because you said it yourself. They're doing this because Punk got hurt.
Okay,
and they had to do something else.
I
part
don't
of
even
the
think.
reason it's happening is because Punk fought her.
I don't
The
even think
other
so.
reason, the other part of the reason that this is
Well,
also that they're also pushing hard
Because
for this right now.
you could have easily done Seth Gunther
Yeah, but you're not.
and let Gunther have 2 titles going into his show in Berlin.
Hi, I'm getting tired. Headache. Look, man.
and you know what's funny? I didn't know all this was happening until the show
Yeah,
started.
exactly. So why are you
Yeah,
so
I-
upset about it?
This isn't the podcast I was expecting to come in.
I
And exactly, I was planning on doing talking.
see,
Bigfoot.
it's all Vince's fault. Fuck you, Vince. And look, this thing I just said, fuck you, Vince. They also said it on the Fightful review. So it's not just me. These aren't only my sentiments.
I'm just saying it's not. I don't think it's a big
bunch
deal,
of people saying
but
it.
I guess we see things differently.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not. It's
It's
just
not.
wrestling. But a lot of people want to make it a big deal.
Exactly.
Now for my moment.
Oh.
WWE.
We still doing that? Oh,
I know, right? Feels like forever since we got into moments. Okay. We knew it was going to happen, and it finally happened.
And I like the way it happened. I think.
Bailey was betrayed the whole
Yes.
time.
yeah.
They were plotting against her.
Well, I don't know if they were plotting against her. They were just talking behind her back in Japanese.
Yeah.
But they didn't think she knew.
And who knew that because of everything they were saying in Japanese, Bailey would catch on. She would learn off of them some of the Japanese things. And she figured out their plan. In a way, cut them off because she had the pipe with her and attacked Damage Control. Where was Dakota Kai? We will find out hopefully
Right.
next week.
And I wonder which side Dakota's going to take.
Yeah. Some
I'm
people
think-
seem to think that she's the mastermind behind it all.
No, I don't know. I don't know if she. I think she's going to go with Bailey. Maybe not. I don't know. But
nonetheless, for WrestleMania, for the Women's Championship, it is Io Sky versus Bailey.
and that was actually the first match that was booked at Mania.
Yeah. So that is going to be a hell of a match. We're definitely going to watch it because we plan on doing a watch along. But we'll see how everything else pans out. But yeah, easily that is my moment. I'm excited for that match.
And it's going to be a good match, I think.
So
Yeah.
another thing they kept saying last night on the Fightful review was that Bailey shouldn't have had the pipe. It should have been Cody with the pipe.
Yeah.
He should
Yeah.
have
Cody should have
Nancy
had the
Kerrigan, The Rock.
Or since he took Pharaoh, that Pharaoh should have bit the Rock.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that subject again. We've gone long enough. So now that we've got our moments in there for WWE, I'm going to go back to Andrew, get his moment for AEW, and I'll be right back.
I was going first.
Go ahead. You can.
Okay.
Because you normally do.
Yeah, I do. He probably forgot. So last night, okay, so now we're done talking about the serious, quote, serious. Now it's time for the fun stuff. So we had the Dynamite opened up with Jon Moxley versus Jeff Hardy, which was actually a really good match.
It was.
It's good to see Jeff Hardy's getting some spots on Dynamite instead of just on Rampage. Matt was out there too, and towards the even at the end of the match, they started teasing maybe the Hardys might be going heel soon. But you even had like if you remember when Jeff was at the end of his time in WWE, the last time that he had a feud with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton would poke him in the ear with some kind of object. That Moxley did a callback to that.
They also, I think they handcuffed his ear to the ladder in the ladder match.
Yes,
Money in the
yeah, that
Bank.
triple threat match.
Yeah, it was some kind of match. I remember that. They
It was
handcuffed his ear to
triple threat
the.
with Sammy and AJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like during the commercial, Moxley got Excalibur's pin and just started poking him in the ear with it, like I guess using it like as a submission, I guess. But it was a good match. But in the end, Moxley got the win. So at ringside, there were 4 wrestlers from CMLL. It was Volador Jr., Mystico, which I believe I gotta look this up, but I think he's the original Sin Cara. I'm not too sure on that. But you also had Mascara Dorada, who is the former Grand Metalik, and then you also had a wrestler named Echecera. Uh, they, and, like I said, they were ringside. Moxley flipped them off. They didn't like that. So after the match was over, Moxley was still in the ring. They get in the ring. They start attacking him. So this seems like it's an female invasion because then you had it seemed like 4 random AEW guys besides Daddy Magic and Cool Ange. But you also had Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal came in there to save Moxley because the rest of BCC wasn't there on Wednesday. So then they had an 8-person match last night on Rampage between the CMLL guys and Parker and Angelo and Sydal and Christopher Daniels, and the CMLL guys got the win. Tonight on Rampage, Danielson's going to take on Echecera. So yeah, apparently it seems like we're getting an invasion of CMLL in AEW, which is funny because AEW you also have wrestlers from AAA that wrestle. You have Commander and Vikingo, Bandito, even Penta and Ray Phoenix. They're AAA guys. So it's almost like we could have faction warfare.
Yeah. So I was having dinner right before, I always have dinner on Saturdays around 6:00. So
I thought you were going to say I always have dinner.
I mean,
I think we all do.
well, I mean, at that time slot, though.
Okay.
Again, Andrew, it's all about the timing, bro.
Timing doesn't matter.
Timing matters, bro. Okay, so I was having dinner, and that is actually the last match I was watching because it took me a little bit to get through Rampage, just because of issues that were going on. But yeah, man, I thought that was a good match. I was a little bit surprised that the CMLL guys won, but it was a pleasant surprise because that just proves to me what I wanted to happen, and which is something we discussed, is that we want more CMLL integration with AEW, and it looks like it's going to happen. So hell yeah, I was happy for that shit match. I'm glad that match happened, and I'm glad it went the way that it went. Yeah, I was happy, and now I'm excited to see who else they decide to bring through. And you, of course, know who also watched the match with me because now he's a big fan. So hell yeah, that was some good shit. And I did mean to say Johnny, but in my bit of a rush, I said Andrew Gunner. It happened.
I gave it to Johnny anyway.
I want to see Psycho Clown
You know what I wanted? Okay, go ahead and say yours before I say mine.
I forgot his name.
Whoa.
The guy that always feuds with Psycho Clown in GCW. We saw him when we went to GCW.
Shit, who'd he fight? That was a while back.
No, he didn't fight him, but he called him out.
Oh, okay. That was still a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back.
So I can't.
It was right before Mania 39 or
Yeah.
38. Actually.
Yeah. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
you know who I want to see? Psycho Clown versus Orange Cassidy. I think that would be a good match. Psycho Clown versus Darby. Shit.
Psycho Clown versus Danhausen.
Hell yes. Oh man, I just want to see Psycho Clown all over the place here. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited over this. So I'm glad to see who they're going to bring through in the future with CMLL. So now that we've gotten Johnny's moment in there, I'm going to go over to Andrew and get his moment for AEW.
It was the main event. We had a Swerve versus a Hangman Adam Page pick.
Yes.
And he gave some hints earlier when he said, I don't think you can last 4 minutes and 20 seconds with him. The 420 reference. I thought he might have meant someone else, but he didn't. That would have been cool too, because he's in New Japan now. Anyway,
Yeah.
but we get RVD coming out, take on Swerve, and then Adam shows up on the Tron and says, "Well, you didn't read the rules because you can also pick the stipulations for the match, and this is going to be a hardcore match." Which is RVD's specialty.
Hell
so
yeah.
we got RVD.
The whole fucking show.
The whole fucking show. At 53 years old. And he still gave us every one of his big moves.
Yeah.
Swerve withstood it, but RVD was in control for most of the match till the very end.
Yeah.
And I asked y'all earlier in the week if we should give him the same warnings we give Sting about watch it, you're 50 years old.
Nope.
I guess not.
Nope.
Because he can still do it and he still looks good doing it at 53. I just thought that was a great match.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say about RVD. Whenever he came into AEW and he was doing the tag matches with Hook, you can, in a way, tell that he needed to work on himself a little bit. He still had it because he even got those "You Still Got It" chants.
Yeah.
But you can tell, like, it needed just the tiniest bit of fine tuning, and he would be to the RVD of old. He did that fine tuning. He got the singles match against Swerve, who is arguably one of the top stars in AEW right now. And he fucking killed it. It was like RVD from ECW all over again.
Yeah.
That's how good he looked in this match. So, I don't know what's next for him after this, but I want more singles matches.
Well, according to the rankings, Swerve's number 1.
Yes.
Hangman's 2, Adam Copeland's 3, John Moxley's 4, and Roderick Strong is 5. As far as the men go.
Yeah.
I don't get why it's Strong is 5 because
I don't get how anybody's ahead of Moxley. Moxley's what, 83-0?
because
Moxley hardly ever loses.
So the
How can
way
he be
it
ranked
used to
higher?
be,
They went by record.
the way it used to be, like back in the 90s in WWF, that if you're Intercontinental Champion, you're like the number 1 contender for the world title, even though you already have a title. So where's Orange Cassidy on that list?
Yeah.
Well, they have the list of champions, and they have the rankings as the contenders.
Yes, I remember those. We were opening the magazines back in the
Yeah,
day.
that's what they got. That's how they're doing it on here. They show the four men's champions, and then they have the list of the top 5 contenders.
Yeah.
Then they show the women's champions and the top 5 women's contenders, the trios champions, top 5 contenders, and the tag champions, top 5 contenders.
Apparently, the number 1 contender for the trios champion is the ROH 6-man champions.
Exactly.
But yeah, this whole ranking system coming back into play, I like
Yeah.
it. Like I always thought it was a mistake that they got rid of it.
Well,
It is, but sometimes I think it can be inconsistent.
you can blame CM Punk for that.
But I think it can be inconsistent because if you look at the rankings, what are they basing that on? Are they basing it on your record or on how popular you are?
Supposed to be by record.
Well, then Hook should be up in the top 5 too,
Yeah.
because he's only lost 2 matches in his career,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's nowhere in the top 5. And are they just doing it for like 2024 new rankings?
I
Because they're talking about Swerve and Adam being both 4-0 undefeated. Well, so is Moxley, and Moxley's probably fought more than both of them combined, and he's still undefeated this year. So he's probably what 7, 8, 9-0, 9-0, and he's not number 1. See, I just don't think I think they do the rankings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think they're basing it on record. I think they're just basing it on what they want to happen in their next pay-per-view.
Here's what I heard about the rankings this time around. I heard that they reset every single month.
What I think they reset when they're ready to do a pay-per-view, and they'll just put their top. You see what I'm saying? They want Joe versus Adam or Swerve, whoever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Which I think it might end up in 6-man. That's
3-man.
Yeah, triple threat match.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not sure if anybody's going to win. They'll just beat the fuck out of each other.
Beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying that Will Ospreay is going to automatically jump into the world title picture.
Exactly. So I think the rankings only have to do with their next pay-per-view. It's not any actual based on actual wins and losses.
Yeah. And I think
because they're not giving us the records in here. They're just telling us the top 5 contenders. They're not telling us what their records are.
And I think someone might have jumped the gun by saying the rankings are going to reset every single month, because if they are going to do it like you said, which would make more sense, is it resets after every pay-per-view. That's every 3 months.
Right. For now.
So it can't reset every month unless if you're going to start doing monthly pay-per-views, which was what some people were talking about.
Exactly.
So
and I think they're just doing it to hype up their next pay-per-view match, because is Swerve really the top-ranked guy there? I'm not sure. I think it's from the beginning of the AEW first started. It's Moxley.
We're going to need all the numbers on that to make sure
I still think it's Moxley.
Right.
According to records, I still think it's Moxley.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, maybe this is just what they're saying until this first pay-per-view happens this year. And then maybe after that, they announce they're going to have monthly pay-per-views. But who knows? Who knows how that's going to work out in the future? Because even though it is a little bit of money, I would pay every single month. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I would.
Yeah, just like I used to be back in the day with WWF pay per view.
I'm gonna go back on my word a little bit. As if they do start doing monthly pay-per-views, you gotta love that nostalgia.
Yeah, and now, but see, the thing is now with digital TV, you can't watch scrambled pay per views anymore.
Yeah, watch scrambled pay-per-views. You can't watch scrambled porn, but that's what we got the internet for. No longer
Get a VPN. You'll be all right.
yes. But yeah, man, that was some really, really good shit right there from RVD.
So, by the way, the name I was thinking about was Dr. Wagner Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. They need to bring a lot of these guys through.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I think I'm gonna have to share that moment with you because RVD, bro. RVD was the shit. I think he was the top winner this week, even though he lost the match. I think he put him in a good light, and he's gonna get a lot of good singles matches out of this performance. But in as a part two, or as my moment, I guess, part two to my moment, Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie with Tony Storm on commentary was so fucking good. Not to put anything against Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie because they had a really good match. Tony Storm on commentary though had made that match like a million times better. It would have been a really good match with just a normal commentary team, but having Tony Storm there and yeah, having Deonna Purrazzo getting the win and just like the stare back and forth between them at the end and the screen going from color to black and white. Glad they're keeping that going. Yeah, it's just their women's division is picking up a lot. And if what next week is going to happen is true, we might need more than one women's match a night. They're definitely going to have to try doing better.
Yes. I've been saying that since AEW started.
Yeah. But if you're going to bring in Mercedes and just for the amount of matches that can probably happen, yeah, we're going to need more than one a week here, guys. Or one a show, I mean. So.
And I'm going to go and go back to RVD. I'm going to go back and say that after Sting retires, RVD might just get that All Elite graphic.
Yeah. I would say go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Because
someone got it tonight. Oh,
Brian
I don't know if
Keith.
you are watching. Never mind.
No, I'm not watching.
I'm not watching, but via Wrestle Talk, I did see the news that came out that Brian, the bounty hunter Brian Keith,
All Elite 98.
Nice. I mean, he's been working.
And we saw him in Garland.
Anyway.
Yes.
We saw him when we were here.
Yeah, he was still tipping.
Yeah. And even though, like, he's been putting in the work with AEW.
Yes.
For him to get that graphic tonight, well deserved. And people have been calling for it. So, oh yeah.
And I'm also going to go ahead and say this because I don't know if y'all watched the news of who's been in town this week. But come on, there's only one Keith Lee. And he wrestles in AEW.
Yeah.
I'm sure the wrestler Keith Lee could out-eat that other Keith Lee.
Oh, for sure. Just look at him. Just look at him. But yeah, there's a lot of people that work with AEW that don't currently have the graphics. But to select someone like everybody that I've selected recently, and that's one of the things we didn't bring. And kind of going back to WWE a little bit, that's one of the things we didn't talk about because of Roman and The Rock, but SmackDown got a couple of new signees.
Only paid for what you need.
Yeah, they got a few call ups.
Yeah.
Raw got Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I'm happy to see.
And they might get Braun because Braun was going to sign with Nick Aldis. He might.
Yeah.
And Adam said, "Come see."
I thought it was funny. It was funny when Andrade said, "Tell Zelina I said hi."
Yeah. But hey, man, I'm excited to see what Tiffany Stratton's going to do on SmackDown.
She beat me chin. Yeah.
Yeah, she beat Mission, so that's a real good start. But yeah, man.
Did you see the thing they did, the segment they did on NXT where she had to muck all the stalls and everything at Fallon's Horse Ranch? That was funny.
Yeah, I did. Did y'all see the video floating around on Twitter? And I think it was on TikTok as well, where the CM Punk is doing an interview before the Rumble, and he spots Jade Cargill from far away, and he just runs over to her and gives her like the biggest hug. And then one of the last things you hear in that video, it's like, how did we end up here? Yeah, just little things like that I watched that kind of makes me, I know they're people and that there's lives outside of pro wrestling and things that happen outside of it and friendships and all of that. But just to see that happen, kind of like him forgetting where he's at and what he's doing, because he just jumps over the barricade like it's nothing. And knowing what happened at the Rumble, I was like, maybe not do that. You could blow out a knee.
Because that's how he injured his foot the first time in AEW, because he was crowd surfing and he hit his foot on the barricade.
Yeah, so maybe not do that. But yeah, it's still fun to see videos like that. Yeah, that was an interesting and difficult start to the stream because of the conversation that needed to be had and me blindsiding both Drew and Johnny with it. But hey, look, discussions happen, and just seeing what happens and moving past it is what keeps it interesting. And hey, look, we're friends here, so it's not like I'm gonna go to work tomorrow and with Johnny being like, I'm only talking to you, Andrew, because Johnny's not here. No.
No.
We're friends, man. Discussions happen. Healthy discussions.
I mean, you'll have to talk to him because I won't be there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm talking to you because Johnny's not there. Nah, man, but it's really putting a bit of a divide a little bit into how people feel about WrestleMania season right now. So I hope they clear it up. We'll see what choices they decide to make in the end. But
maybe the story changes.
Yeah. Maybe the story changes to what it should have been all along.
Yes.
Hey, some people are even saying,
or maybe they convinced this is the right story. We don't know.
It's not, bro.
Give them a chance. Jeez.
Yeah, let's have Cody Rhodes finish the story that just started last week. We're gonna argue about this a lot, I feel.
Or like you said, maybe they do not 1, not 2 thing with Roman.
Yeah. Why not? Like, I know people wouldn't like it just because of putting Roman at a higher risk of doing the night 1, night 2. But if you really want to keep fans happy, that's what you're going to have to do.
I mean, he could face Cody night 1, lose the title night 1, night 2, face The Rock, lose against The Rock, and he's no longer tribal chief.
Yeah. Have him lose everything.
Yeah.
In that one weekend. But hey, we'll see what WWE decides to do. They have a little bit more influence from TKO now since the merger happened. And yeah, the next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting to see how it pans out. But to see how this pans out this weekend, it is time to stump the brave.
Let's see. I don't know what I want to go with.
Go with the Rock question. Go with the Rock question. No.
Okay. Who's the only person to win primary heavyweight championships in WWE, UFC, New Japan, and NCAA?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
Easy.
I know.
As soon as he
But,
said
but,
the
but,
first,
but I thought it was cool that he's won in all those different levels.
Yeah.
just as a joke, I was gonna do it, but then I didn't. As soon as you said the first two, and then I heard NCAA, like, well, I was gonna do it with the first two. Just
Well,
because,
I knew about New Japan, so
yeah. Just to do it as a I don't know shit and I'm confused. I was gonna be like Brock Purdy, but no, I didn't.
Brock Anderson.
Just throw out the wrong Brocks because we're canceling Brock now.
we used to have a manager at work named Brock. No, Freddie remembers him.
That was before my time, I think.
Yeah, but we had a manager named Brock.
Skinny white dude.
Yes.
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Everything else is a blur, bro. I can barely remember last month. All right.
But then again, no, never mind. I was gonna get. It was gonna sound racist. I was gonna say, aren't all guys named Brock white?
Yeah. Yeah, but they come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Not all Brocks are the same.
Yeah.
That's too much Brock talk.
Yeah.
All right, well,
We went from the Rock to the Brock.
from the Rock to the Brock. Both guys.
So does Brock talk include broccoli talk? Oh.
And next, we're gonna talk about the Gronk.
Now we're just rhyming for no reason.
So have y'all seen the Gronk commercials about him doing that kicking in at the Super Bowl?
Yes, Carl
Yeah.
Weathers.
There's
You hear
one
about Carl
commercial-
Weathers?
One commercial. There's one commercial where John Cena yells at him, "You're not going to do it, Gronk."
I refuse to see him, so I didn't. You know what?
I mean, you can't see it.
Yeah, can't see him. You didn't
Did y'all hear about?
finish?
Did y'all hear about Carl Weathers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was sad.
So that was another bum out moment yesterday.
Yeah,
Because I'm a big Rocky fan.
and Mandalorian. He's
Yeah.
in the Mandalorian.
We lost Apollo Creed and Chubbs.
And Chubbs.
Yeah. Now, so one of the videos I've seen people sharing is when he's playing the piano.
Yeah, at the end of
Yeah.
At the end of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have been sharing that shit, and I'm like, way to make me cry, bro.
I know.
Who thought that at all of 39 years old, one of the things that would make me cry is Apollo Creed passing away. But hey, man, I grew up watching the Rocky movies.
Exactly.
Or even more, a scene from Adam Sandler movie would make you cry.
Yeah, an Adam Sandler movie scene was gonna make me cry. I never would have thought of that. See, now I even forgot the sentence I was gonna say because you interrupted me, and then we got into this conversation, and now I can't remember what I was gonna say. It happens more than you think, but
Wait till you're my age. Oh.
no, it just happens a lot where we're having a certain conversation, and then Johnny's like, "Hey, but this," and then I was like, I just forgot.
Oh yeah,
what I was
and
gonna
I
say.
make him lose his track.
Yeah, he takes me off the track a lot. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out and what WWE decides to do, having 2 months to go before Mania, and what the fans are going to be like during the live shows now. So Raw is going to be an interesting watch for sure to see if the fans hijack the show. It's a possibility. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. And like always, if you have any questions or comments, WrestleLost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube. And don't forget to follow our TikTok at WrestleLostPod. So hope everybody enjoys the weekend, and we will talk to y'all later.
See you next week.
Check you later.